American motorcycles carry the strongest brand loyalty on the planet. Nobody in the industry argues with that. But the same data that fuels the loyalty, the J.D. Power Motorcycle Owner Appeal Numbers, the Consumer Reports Reliability Surveys, the NHTSA Recall Database, and the KBB and NADA Depreciation Curves, tells a story most riders in this country don't want to hear. It is the story of 3 American motorcycles that punish the people who bought them hard, and 4 that quietly reward the check you wrote. This is not a marketing video. Nothing you're about to hear came out of a Milwaukee press release or a Minneapolis brochure. Every number is sourced, every failure pattern is documented, and by the end of the next 15 minutes, you'll know why one motorcycle, sitting in thousands of American garages right now, shows up in the Federal Recall Database with a defect that can take away your steering at highway speed. You'll also know why the #1 best pick on this list is a bike half the Harley forums swear cannot possibly beat a Milwaukee 8, until you actually look at what the resale market has been quietly telling us for 3 straight years. Before we start, here's the ruler. Every bike measured the same way. J.D. Power's Motorcycle Owner Appeal Study for Satisfaction and Quality Perception. Consumer Reports Reliability Surveys, pulled from actual owners, not test riders on a 2-hour press loop. NHTSA Recall Exposure across the last 36 months. KBB and NADA 5-year depreciation curves on the private market, not trade-in dreams. And the failure patterns owners have been documenting on forums and dealer service tickets for years. Harley-Davidson gets no favors here. Indian gets no favors here. The bikes that win, win on the numbers. The bikes that lose, lose because owners already paid for the lesson. Nothing on this list came from opinion. All of it came from data. So let's start where the pain starts. The 3rd worst American motorcycle you can put in your garage right now. Before we name it, understand this. The 3rd worst pick on this list is not a bad motorcycle. It is a beautiful one. It is the kind of bike a first-time luxury buyer walks up to, sits on, and falls in love with in about 11 seconds. It is also the kind of bike that punishes that love harder than most people expect. And it is not a Harley. The bike is the Indian Roadmaster. MSRP $34,999 for the standard audio package and $36,749 for the Power Band audio trim. Powered by the air-cooled Thunderstroke 116 V-twin. 126 pounds-feet of torque at 2,900 RPM. One of the smoothest heritage engines in the American touring category. So what is the problem? The problem is what happens after you sign the paperwork. Ask yourself something honest. When was the last time you saw a luxury American full-dress tourer, 3 years old, hold more than 65% of its original sticker on the private market? Look at the KBB and NADA curves on full-dress Indians from the 2020 through 2023 model years. The Roadmaster, in average trade-in condition, is routinely losing over 35% of its value inside the first 3 years. What happens when you finance $37,000 at 8%, and 3 years later the bike appraises for $22,000 and you're still holding $28,000 in principal? That is not a comfortable phone call with the credit union. And that is only the depreciation. Add the maintenance schedule on a 900-pound full-dress tourer. Add the tire replacement cycle. Add the dealer service costs on a Thunderstroke platform outside major metros. And you start to understand why the second-hand market is flooded with barely ridden Roadmasters at 18 months old. Beautiful bike, wrong bike to buy new. And if this one costs you money, wait until you see what the #2 worst American motorcycle does to owners who thought they were buying a proper adventure machine. The next bike on the list is one Harley-Davidson bet its entire modern reputation on. It was supposed to prove the motor company could build a proper adventure touring machine that could stand next to a BMW GS or a Honda Africa Twin. Instead, it built a case study in what happens when a legacy brand tries to enter a category 5 years too late with a first-year product. The bike is the Harley-Davidson Pan America 1250 Special, MSRP $26,499 for the 2026 model year. On paper, the spec sheet is stunning. The Revolution Max 1250 V-twin makes 150 HP at 8,750 RPM and 94 lb torque at 6,750 RPM. Liquid-cooled, adaptive ride height, cornering ABS, everything a modern ADV rider is supposed to want. And then you own one. Talk to owners of 2021, 2022, and even 2023 Pan Americas, and a pattern shows up so many times across independent foreign threads, it cannot be dismissed as bad luck. Charging system failures traced to a defective stator, with the replacement kit costing owners roughly $5,000 installed once the warranty expires. Fuel pumps whining and quitting between 10,000 and 25,000 miles. Right-side control module errors that leave the bike sitting at a dealer for weeks, waiting on back-ordered parts. Kickstand brackets that back off their mounting bolts because the kickstand was designed as a stressed member on the engine case. And a documented 2021 seat recall covering 2,689 units for a base fracture defect. Now ask the question every buyer should be asking. What is a bike actually worth when the owner community itself is publishing forum threads titled "Enough is Enough" from 40-year Harley loyalists? What happens when you are 200 miles from home in a rainstorm and the charging system starts throwing codes? Look at the private market depreciation. Documented owner reports show the 2021 Pan America losing more than 50% of its value inside 24 months. That is not brand loyalty punishment. That is the market pricing in risk in real time. And if you are going to add gear to a bike this heavy, adventure luggage, protection bars, skid plates, adventure tires, the last thing you want is to pour thousands into aftermarket investment on a chassis you are not sure will hold value long enough to justify it. Bad as this one is, the #1 worst American motorcycle to own right now is a bike the dealers still cannot stop pushing because they still have inventory to move. Here is the #1. And this one hurts, because on paper, it should have been the halo of the entire modern Sportster line. The bike is the Harley-Davidson Sportster S, MSRP $16,999. The Revolution Max 1250T V-twin, 121 HP at 7,500 RPM, 94 pounds-feet of torque at 6,000 RPM, muscular styling, blacked-out aesthetics, and one of the most aggressive marketing pushes Harley has run in the last decade. So what makes it the worst pick on the entire American list? 2 recalls on the same structural component, same failure mode, in less than 18 months. The first recall was posted in September 2025 and covered approximately 8,400 Sportster S units, model years 2021 through 2025, for a defect in the upper triple clamp. Understand what the upper triple clamp is. It is not a trim piece. It is not a cosmetic component. It is the structural part that ties the 2 fork legs above the steering head bearing and holds the front wheel in line with the frame. NHTSA's language on the risk was blunt. The clamp may fracture under load. If it fractures while you're riding, you can lose control of the front end. Then in February 2026, Harley filed a second recall on the same component, expanding to model years 2021 through 2026. Covering approximately 21,698 Sportster S motorcycles worldwide, with more than 17,000 of those in the United States. The reason for the second action is what should scare every owner. The first repair, tightening the clamping bolt to a specified torque, did not reliably solve the problem. The connection was still working loose under normal riding vibration. This second recall involves complete replacement of the upper fork bridge with a redesigned part. Ask yourself the question every current Sportster S owner is asking. What happens when you are 200 miles from home, running 75 miles per hour on the interstate, and the part that keeps your front wheel pointed straight decides that today is the day? What kind of resale value does a bike carry when the internet already knows it went through 2 structural recalls on the same component in less than 2 years? The answer, from the private market, is brutal. Sportster S depreciation curves are among the steepest in the modern Harley lineup. Buyers know, dealers know, and yet the bikes keep leaving the showroom because they still photograph well on the sales floor. That is the worst American motorcycle to own right now, by the combined weight of documented recall exposure, structural risk, and depreciation punishment. Enough of the graveyard. Now the 4 American motorcycles that actually reward the check you wrote, starting with the one that barely made the list. The next bike is the entry point. It is the one riders overlook because it is cheap. And cheap in the American motorcycle market is usually a signal to worry. Not this time. The bike is the Harley-Davidson Nightster, MSRP $9,999. The 975T Revolution Max engine makes 91 HP and 72 pound-feet of torque. It replaced the Iron 883 in the lineup and undercut it on price, which almost never happens in this industry, and definitely never happens at Harley-Davidson. So what earns it the number 4 spot on the best-to-own list? 3 things. First, it is absent from the current wave of major structural recalls that have hit the Softail line and the Sportster S. The Nightster is not on the April 2026 Softail Brakeland recall list. The Nightster is not on the triple clamp recall list. Second, the ownership cost profile is the lowest in the modern Harley lineup. Entry-level insurance tier, low tire replacement cost, standard service intervals that any competent independent shop can handle without a dealer diagnostic. Third, depreciation on the Nightster has been unusually stable for a Harley entry-level model, partly because production volumes are modest, and partly because riders keep buying them used for the same reason they buy them new. They are honest bikes at an honest price. Ask yourself something. When was the last time an American manufacturer priced a new bike below its own discontinued predecessor and delivered more engine at the same time? That is what happened here. Is it a touring machine? No. Is it a bagger? No. It's a Sportster family entry ticket that respects the buyer's budget. Good bike, not the champion. But number 3 is where the numbers start to get uncomfortable for the competition. The number 3 pick is the one that upsets Milwaukee loyal riders because they do not want to admit it. It is not a Harley, it is the Indian Chief Bobber Dark Horse, MSRP $19,999. Air-cooled Thunderstroke 116, 120 pounds-feet of torque at 2,900 RPM, wire spoke wheels, mini ape handlebars, and forward controls. This is a bobber the way a bobber is supposed to look, and underneath the styling, it is an air-cooled pushrod V-twin that is mechanically about as complicated as a wristwatch. Why does it earn a top 3 data spot? 2 reasons. First, the Thunderstroke 116 has been on the road since 2020 in this generation of Chief, and the recall exposure on the platform is minimal compared to the Sportster S and the current Softail line. Second, air-cooled reliability. There is no radiator, no coolant lines, no water pump, no stator failures like the ones documented on the Revolution Max platform. Fewer parts, fewer failure points. Fewer things that can leave you on the side of Interstate 40 waiting on a flatbed. If you are going to keep a bike 10 years and put 60,000 miles on it, the right accessories matter, and the right accessories cost money. Saddlebags that do not cut into the fender, a windshield sized for your torso, comfort seating for the mile-eating days. The Chief Bobber Dark Horse rewards long-term ownership because the accessory ecosystem for the modern Chief platform is now mature, and the aftermarket pricing has settled to competitive levels. What happens when you own a bike whose depreciation curve is shallower than the payment plan? You start to understand why the numbers say the Chief Bobber Dark Horse is punching above its price. If this one is number 3, wait until you see the American touring machine at number 2 that plays exactly where Milwaukee has been claiming the crown for 30 years running. Here is number 2, and it is the bike Harley loyalists will nod at because they have been telling everyone within earshot for years. It is the Harley-Davidson Street Glide, base MSRP $27,999 for the 2026 model year. The all-new Milwaukee 8 VVT 117 powertrain in the 2026 Grand American Touring lineup delivers 14% more horsepower and 7.4% more torque than the twin-cooled Milwaukee 8 114 in the 2024 models. Rockford Fosgate audio, heated seats, heated grips, updated fairing, and the widest dealer service network in North America. So why does it earn number 2 and not number 1? Because for once, the marketing story and the data story actually agree. The Street Glide's recall exposure on the current 2026 Milwaukee 8 VVT 117 platform is clean, and it sits outside the April 2026 Softail Brakeline recall that swept up 16,994 Heritage Classics, Street Bob's Lowrider S, and Lowrider ST units. The Street Glide's depreciation curve is one of the best in the entire American touring category. A 2020 Street Glide MSRP roughly $22,000 when new is still commanding $13,000 to $15,000 on the private market in 2026. That is under 40% depreciation across 6 years, on a bike that was ridden and enjoyed the whole time. Ask yourself the question buyers keep asking themselves at 4 a.m. What kind of touring bike lets you cover 900 miles in a weekend, sit down at a hotel bar, wake up sore in the right places, and still hold value like a well-maintained luxury sedan? That is what the Street Glide does. Great bike. Nearly took the crown, but it lost to one motorcycle that the American market has been quietly voting for with its wallet, one owner at a time. This is the one. This is the surprise, and the #1 American motorcycle to own right now by the combined weight of J.D. Power owner satisfaction, Consumer Reports reliability signals, NHTSA recall exposure, and KBB and NADA resale performance. It is not the Street Glide. It is not the Road Glide. It is the Indian Challenger, MSRP starting at $23,999 for the base trim and rising to $28,999 depending on options and color. Under the frame-mounted fairing, you get the Power Plus 108 V-twin in the base trim and the liquid-cooled Power Plus 112 in the higher trims, producing 128 HP and 133 lb-ft of torque on the 112. Same platform functionally that won the 2024 Moto America King of the Baggers Championship. And it beats the Street Glide's Milwaukee 8 on horsepower per dollar, on torque per dollar, and on the exact metrics Harley loyalists do not want to argue in public. Mind the top spot? First, the recall exposure on the current generation Challenger is minimal. It is not on the brake line list. It is not on the triple clamp list. Second, the Power Plus 112 platform is liquid-cooled, which means it holds up better in stop-and-go summer traffic where an air-cooled Milwaukee 8 starts to bake the rider's inside leg through the frame. Third, and this is what the Harley forums swear cannot be true, the Challenger's resale on the private market has been trending stronger year over year since the 2020 launch, because buyers who read spec sheets before they read logos have been quietly voting with their wallets for 4 years running. Ask yourself 2 questions. Would you rather buy the bike everyone tells you to buy, or the bike the data says outperforms it? And what does it say about the American motorcycle industry in 2026 that the smart money pick, on paper, does not come out of Milwaukee at all? If you are going to invest in luggage, an audio upgrade, comfort seating, or highway pegs, the Challenger's accessory catalog is now competitive with anything Harley offers, and the aftermarket pricing has finally closed the gap that used to exist 5 years ago. This is the bike that wins on the numbers. This is the bike that wins on the resale. And this is the bike Milwaukee is trying not to talk about at the sales meetings. So here is the ruler one more time, top to bottom, with the single strongest data point on each. Third worst, the Indian Roadmaster at $34,999, punished by luxury tourer depreciation curves that eat over 35% in the first 3 years. Second worst, the Harley-Davidson Pan America 1250 Special at $26,499, punished by documented electrical and charging failure patterns and steep private market losses. Number 1 worst, the Harley-Davidson Sportster S at $16,999, hit with 2 structural triple clamp recalls on the same component in under 2 years. Number 4 best, the Harley-Davidson Nightster at $9,999, clean recall record and honest entry-level economics. Number 3 best, the Indian Chief Bobber Dark Horse at $19,999, air-cooled mechanical simplicity and a shallow depreciation curve. Number 2 best, the Harley-Davidson Street Glide at $27,999, clean current recall exposure and the strongest Grand American Touring resale in the segment. And number 1 best, the Indian Challenger at $23,999 to $28,999, beating the Milwaukee 8 on the numbers Harley will never put on the sales tag. That is the ranking. And it came from data, not opinion. Now here is the thread nobody at Milwaukee wants to pull in public. The average age of a new Harley-Davidson buyer in the United States has been climbing past 50. Dealer traffic among riders under 40 is quietly collapsing across most regions, and J.D. Power's youngest rider segment is not buying Milwaukee 8 at all. So what are they buying instead? And what does that mean for the American motorcycle industry 5 years from now, when the loyalty demographic that built the Harley empire finally starts aging out of the saddle for good?